Hey gems, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name's Imani and welcome to my channel. So this video we're gonna have a little chat about how my little man Elias made his appearance into this world and how God made it happen in his own timing and his own way. I still don't know why it happened the way it happened, but maybe in the near future I might know. So I've said for a really long time I wanted a home birth. I'm like, if my grandma could push out a couple babies at home, then why can't I? I wanted a home birth. Now, I was living in Jersey for a little while and for a long while. And home births or midwives were not covered by your insurance, but they were there, but very in like scarcity. Now, once I moved to Florida, it was a different story. Midwives were covered by your insurance and life was great. Doulas, not so much, but you had to pay out of pocket for that. Now, I went through the process of how I found my midwife in another one of my videos, but I had my midwife, man, I love her so much. I'll leave her the link to her Instagram and her info somewhere around here. I loved her so much. And my doula, I don't think I had her information, but I was her student. She was a student at the time, so she basically took me on for free. Now, these were the two people that I got acquainted to at all of my doctor's visits, all of my midwife visits. I'd see Brooke. Her name is Brooke. That's my midwife. I'd see Brooke, okay? And whenever I talked to my doula, it would be Lourdes. All right. Life is good and dandy. The day I went into labor, the day I went into labor, I didn't know that I was in labor. I remember going swimming that day. After swimming, I said, I'm gonna take myself to hot pot. I went to hot pot and I went in. Mind you, the whole time I'm leaking, but I didn't think anything of it because I've been taking evening primrose and it makes you leak, but not as much as I was leaking. So yeah. All right, no, I'm paying nothing, no mind to it. The next day, so I think I went into labor the 6th. I went to labor the 6th. Went into labor the 6th. I had a doctor's appointment, a midwife's appointment the 7th. So I didn't know what was going on the 5th. Went about my day. The 7th, the morning of, I scheduled to go get a manicure and a pedicure because I'm like, eventually I'm gonna give birth. I was due on the 12th, so I was just like preparing myself, shave, you know, do all that good stuff. Okay, go to my nail appointment. Still not thinking anything of it. I'm like leaking like a lot at this point, to the point where, you know, when you makeshift a pad, went to the bathroom, did one of those, and still not thinking. Finally, my midwife's appointment was at 1 o'clock. Now, they were taking so long. Mind you, this was a freaking hour, 30-minute pedicure, and I still didn't even get my hands done yet. So she was like, oh, you should come back. You should come back. And I'm like, you guys took forever. But I like the place. But I guess I wouldn't mind any other time if they took forever, but this time I mind because I had a doctor's appointment. I decided to call my midwife, and I'm like, hey, I think my water broke. Now, when I called my midwife, it wasn't Brooke. It was her student that picked up. She was like, yeah, Brooke's not feeling well today, so just come in. Whatever, not thinking anything of it. All right, I go in, she checks it. She's like, yep, this is amniotic fluid leaking right now, so you're gonna have a baby soon. And I'm just like, they're like, just go straight home and just wait. Mind you, if I knew, I would have went to Walmart like I had planned, because I drove to Walmart. I was in the parking lot. I'm like, I think I should just go home. I should have went to Walmart, did my grocery shopping as I planned because of the way. Anyways, I wasn't feeling any pain. I wasn't feeling anything. I just came home, started washing laundry, preparing things, waiting for my doula. Now, I've never had a doula before. I didn't know the process. I was supposed to have certain things ready for them, have a space. I was very unprepared, to say the least, okay, for doulas. Now, because my midwife was sick, she couldn't come to my birth. Her student came to my birth. So now someone that I haven't been acquainted with for a very long time is coming to help me deliver my baby. Whatever. Okay. Not only that, but my doula that I've been talking to, having conversation with the whole time, was out of town. So her teacher came in because she was a student. So I'm like, great. 2 people that I don't know coming here. Okay, whatever. I guess I should have known right then and there how this was going to go. All right, they came around, my doula came around 8 o'clock. We're walking, I think around 8-ish. That's when I started to feel like, all right, this is a little pain. Like this is a little bit, this is a little something, but not too much where it's like, oh my gosh, but it was bearable. So she came, brought me my watermelon like I asked for. She bought me some watermelon, and I don't know what time, but my other doula came. Not doula, my midwife came. The one that was not my original midwife, she came. Now, 2 people that I didn't get to know are in my home, helping me, looking all up in my hoo-ha, trying to help me prepare myself for a baby. Yep. Okay. So there is a law in Florida after 48 hours of being in labor with your water broken, if you don't give birth, you have to go to the hospital. Now, I obviously did not want a hospital birth. We had a birth plan in case anything happened, what hospital I would go to, blah, blah, blah. So after 48 hours of laboring, maybe it was the 5th. No, I think I went to labor the 5th. At my appointment was the 6th. They came the 6th. Yeah, I don't know, okay? I don't know. Eli came the 8th, that's all I know. After 48 hours of laboring, Eli did not come anywhere, but my water broke, so I had to go to the hospital. Mind you, I labored home for a huge majority of it. They gave me all of the midwives brew that they could do to help me give birth. They gave me all these things, and Eli was like, nah. If my water didn't break, they could have left, came back whenever I really felt like I was ready to pop. But state law. Now, the hospital that my original midwife put on the birth plan was about 45 minutes away in Lake Nona. Okay, go to Lake Nona. Now, the reason she picked out the hospital is because there is a midwife turned gyno that works there that she really likes, that, you know, they're acquainted. Cool. She said she's really good. Why? My luck, the day I pulled up, she's not working. She's not working that day. Okay. So we get to the hospital. I needed Pitocin to induce this labor to make Eli, man over here, come. Get to the hospital, and I was already mad. I was a little irritated. I've been up for 48 hours. Now I have to go to the hospital. So I'm irritated. I've been up for 48 hours. Me and my doula are in each other's faces, annoyed with each other at this point. She is a new personality that I was getting used to because I got used to the other lady's personality. All right, so we're like fighting like sisters at this point. We're like annoyed and irritated with each other. And then then I'm mad because I have to go to the hospital now because that wasn't my plan. We make our plans, the Lord determines our steps. So, get to the hospital. I wanted to walk upstairs. They're like, no, you need a wheelchair. I'm irritated some more. We'll get upstairs. They give me a robe to change into. I'm in the bathroom. Here comes anesthesiology. I'm even more irritated. They're like, oh, here we are. We just want to have you sign this paper just in case. I'm like, I literally just got here. Like, I was so annoyed. I was mean, I could tell you. I was mean, okay? I'm like, I just got here. You guys, like, you're already making me sign paper for what, an epidural that I didn't ask for. Like, you know, it's just what we do. Mind you, I've worked at a hospital. I've worked in labor and delivery. I mean, I wasn't too in depth, but I just know if you get a C-section, it costs more. You see? So I'm like, no. I'm like, you could leave it there. I'll sign it if I want to. All right. Didn't sign the paper. Left it on the table. Here comes this doctor, Dr. Figueroa, I think that was her name, comes in ready to just, she's like, ooh, easy prey. I am gonna go in, little girl, looking all lonely, looking all, I'm gonna have a C-section. I'm gonna probably make her get a C-section. That's how she came into the room looking, okay? Or maybe that's how I thought she came into the room looking. Because she's like, okay, so like, tell me what you want to do. I was like, I want to have, you know, as natural of a birth as possible. I'm already here for Pitocin, so that's already out of my control. But anything else, I want to try to do myself. I want to try to push the baby out with no epidural. I would just want to just do what I have to do. Let my body do its job. She's like, what do you mean by natural? I'm like, what I was born to do. What a female is able to do. Not having to cut me open like a freaking whatever you cut open. And so I'm like, you're irritating me. And I'm not sure in what order, but it went something like this. She was like, do you know why we don't use sundials anymore? And I'm like, why? Because we have clocks. If we have the technology, we might as well use it. I'm like, what about I don't want a C-section, don't you understand? Let's backtrack. When I got to my room, I'm like, I want to walk around because I obviously, being bedridden, is not going to help me and Eli. We need to be moving, getting flow. For them to find a monitor to hook me onto that is portable seemed to be so impossible. It was unavailable. I couldn't get one. So now I'm stuck in bed, just sitting there, stuck, irritated, annoyed. So now I'm feeling the pain even more. I can't walk the pain off. I can't do any of that. So now I'm mad even more. All right, so then here she comes with her sundial, why we don't use sundials, etc., etc. And I'm just like, okay. And if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. If I wanted to use a sundial, lady, I would have used a sundial. If I wanted to use a clock, I would have used a clock. If I wanted to have a C-section, I would have had a C-section. But I want to give myself a chance to have a natural birth, to push my baby out, to not use an epidural. Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you? I didn't even think your opinion mattered in this case because there's nothing wrong with my child. There's no emergency happening. There is no dire need for me to be cut open right now. Why are you trying to push a C-section down my throat? So I was so irritated with her. She was just basically trying so hard to convince me to get a C-section. Now, I was so traumatized by this lady. Like, imagine you're about to do a scan, a down there scan, a sweep or whatever you call it. No warning, no nothing, you just go right in. I had phantom pains after she was gone. I'm like, what the freak is wrong with this lady? No 1, 2, 3, no, okay, are you ready? Just, I'm like, bro, you are traumatizing me. And I've had previous traumas, so you're really not helping me right now. You're really not helping me right now. Okay. I came to the hospital at 5 p.m. on January 7th. I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. Now my midwife obviously left me because I'm in the care of the gyno at the hospital, but my doula, she's still with me. She's calling my midwife, my original midwife, like, I don't know what's going on. We've been here since 5. It's like 9, 10, midnight. We're just like, why are we still here? She didn't get Pitocin yet. What's going on? And it's like, I want to take her to another hospital, but if I go to another hospital, what if they don't take care of her? Because they're like, well, she didn't listen to them at that hospital. You know, they might have like preconceived notions about me. So she was like, no, let's not do it. Let's just stay, blah, blah, blah. We're waiting. She was like, this is her doctor. She was like, oh, her. So everyone clearly knows this lady is something else. All right. Fast forward. She was like, I started feeling more pain now. She was like, since you don't want the epidural, she gonna offer me like a Benadryl. I was so confused. I'm like, after trying to offer me the epidural for like 500 times, and I said no, I said no, I said no. She was like, oh, do you want a Benadryl? I'm like, this lady, I don't what? So I let her be. Then obviously I'm in bed the whole time. Eli does decide to do a little 360, sunny side up, baby. She comes back, she checks me, she said, oh, we might not be able to do natural like you wanted. I'm like, why are you so happy? I was so irritated. At this point, I'm defeated. At this point, I'm sad. I'm crying. I'm in my head like, God, what is the purpose of all this? Mind you, in the process, I'm at the hospital by myself with my doula. No one knows I'm in labor. I didn't call my family. I didn't text my only one friend or two. I'm like, can someone just please come hold my hand? Can someone just please someone that I know be here with me? Like, that's also why I wanted to have my baby at home, because it's in my environment versus like I'm in the hospital around a whole bunch of new people. Yes, I was around new people in my environment, but it's different. I'm in my space. I'm in my element. I'm in this freaking cold hospital bed, stuck with a whole bunch of faces, a doctor that's trying to push a C-section down my throat. I'm sad. I'm defeated. I'm just a wreck, okay? And of course, you know, yeah. So that's that. She comes and I'm sad. I'm like, what the heck is happening? And then I'm just like, you know what? Just do the stupid C-section. Do the C-section because it seems like this is what you wanted. Thank God for my doula. She's like, but Imani, that's not what you want. If you do the C-section, you're going to stay here longer. You're going to have to get more care. That's not what you wanted. She's like, you know, we're going to get this baby to turn around. We're going to get this baby to turn around. So she's helping me do all these positions and things, and her and the nurse, they're doing this, they're doing that. Mind you, if I came in at 5, got my Pitocin at 6, I would have been good to go. We wouldn't be in this predicament. Push the baby out, go about my day. But clearly, they needed to make my life a little bit more difficult. Finally, Eli turns around. They like, what, 3 o'clock in the morning? They're like, finally at 3 o'clock, oh, we have enough nurses now to give you the Pitocin. I'm like, so y'all ain't have enough nurses before? Y'all couldn't say something? I've just been sitting here for hours just thinking y'all just didn't want to care for me. Y'all ain't want to give me some Pitocin. Okay, we have enough nurses now. So they give me my Pitocin at 3. At 6:49, Eli is out and ready to go. Now, here comes this lady. Oh, you did such a good job. Oh my gosh, can I look at him? I'm like, lady, I don't like you. Lady, I don't like you, you freaking predator. Sorry. Because I also said I wanted to take my placenta home because I don't want you to have it. She was like, do you know why mothers kept their placenta? Because of predators. In my head, I'm like, honey, you are a predator. But yeah. After that, the only thing I could come up with was I was a lesson for this lady. That's all I could think of, because I still don't understand why I had to go through what I had to go through. Because I feel like she thought, okay, this girl comes in by herself. She looks lonely. She's vulnerable. Let me just tell her we need to have a C-section, that it's just better for her to have a C-section. It's easier. Life is great. But this girl was fighting. I was fighting so hard for my rights. And I gave up a little bit, but thanks to my doula, I kept going. And I'm just like, I thank God that I was able to do that, because once I gave birth, I felt so powerful. Like, I'm telling you, like, I could do anything. I pushed out a baby. I could do anything. And it's so crazy, because one day you go from being pregnant, which is not as like a huge life change, but you go from being pregnant to I have a baby now. Like, you're never leaving me. And the whole time I was like listening to worship music, but then I got irritated because everyone else around me was irritated. So I'm like, God, I wanted to know, where were you in that what role did you play? Because I felt like I didn't need to go through all that to show this lady who, you know. And when I was leaving the hospital, they're like, oh, she's back, Dr. Figueroa. I hope she doesn't act up. And I'm like, so y'all mean to tell me everyone knows how trash this lady is, but nobody wants to do anything about it? Mind you, my friend came. They wouldn't let her in because she had a baby. So I'm like, y'all being so mean to me. Y'all really being mean to me. Except the lady that was giving food. She was nice and she gave me extra food because she knew my doula. But I'm like, why did I go through all this? Why? But all I can do and say is like, God, I thank you for giving me the strength, the ability to push out a child, and the confidence that I got once I did it. And if I was the one you needed to use to teach this lady a lesson of trying to prey on the weak and vulnerable, like, I'm literally in my most vulnerable state right now. I am weak. I am like emotional. I have a whole bunch of hormones. I'm about to give birth. And also all these thoughts are running through my mind. And like, you just want to think about, well, money. Mind you, this is a lady who has a kid. Clearly, you need compassion to work in that field. And she did not have it. Like, I was so rude. Even my doula said, you were really mean or rude. And I'm like, she was trying me, So that's my birth story. And I would say the lesson I learned is, when you know you want to do something, when you know you are capable of doing something, don't let anyone stop you. Whether they're the doctor, okay? Who has the final say? Jehovah has the final say. The doctor don't have the final say. The nurses don't have the final say. Like, they could have just been like, okay, Imani, you're gonna have a C-section. No, that wasn't the plan. That wasn't in my head. Everything else was off. Everything else was out of my control. This was the one thing that I had control of, because I know me. I know my body. I know my pain tolerance. I know what I'm capable of. And you guys are trying to make me feel like I can't because you want to make more money. That's not cool. So if someone tries to make if someone tries to make you do something that you don't want to do, so when you know you're capable of doing it, stand firm in your decision. You make those decisions, because they're not going to be the one going home with you when you have a C-section to take care of you. Are they? No, they're going to be making their money and happy-go-lucky skipping off into the sunset while you're at home in pain trying to take care of a baby. I didn't want that. So I'm very, very happy and glad that I stood firm in my decision, that I was like, you know, I know the strength that I have to be able to give birth. I was made for this. I know my pain tolerance. I know what I'm capable of. And I want to give it a try. At least let me try before you push a C-section down my throat. So that's my video. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know how your birth went. Or do you want kids? If so, how many? And do you want a home birth or a hospital birth? Let your girl know, and I will see you next time. Bye, gems.